The topic for today's discussion is types of level measurement. So, we have two methods used to measure level. The first method is called the direct or the mechanical method, and the second one is indirect or inferential methods. So, the first one, mechanical or direct methods. The direct level measurement is simple, almost straightforward, and also economical. It uses a direct measurement of the distance from the datum line and used primarily for the local indication. It is not easily adopted to signal transmission techniques for remote indication or control. So under direct method, the first type is dipsticks and lead lines. And the flexible lines which are fitted with end weights are called as chains or lead lines. They have been used centuries by seafaring men to gauge the depth of the water under the ships. The first diagram is the dipstick and the second diagram is a steel tape and bob. And the steel tape having a plumb bob like weights are stored conventionally in a reel and are still used for extensively measuring levels in fuel, oil bunkers and petroleum storage tanks as shown in the diagram. Though the crude as this method seems, it is accurate for about 0.1 percentage which ranges up to 20 feet. Although the dipstick and lead line methods of level measurements are unrivaled in accuracy, reliability and dependability, there are also drawbacks to this technique. First, it requires an action to be performed, thus causing the operator to interrupt its duty to carry out the measurement. There cannot be a continuous representation of the process measurement. Another limitation to this measuring principle is the inability to successfully and conventionally measure level values in pressure vessels. These disadvantages limit the effectiveness of these by means of visual level measurement. The next type of direct method is the slide glass, and the first picture shows about the low pressure slide glass and the second picture the high pressure slide glass. Another simple method is this which is shown here. It is a quite straightforward in use. The level in glass seeks the same position as the level inside the tank. It provides a continuous visual indication of liquid level in a process vessel or a small tank and are more convenient than the dipstick, dip rod as well as the manual gauging types. We find that the sight glass A is more suitable for gauging an open tank. A metal ball normally used in the tube to prevent the fluid from flowing out of the gauge. Tubular glass of a sort is available with lens up to 70 inches and for pressure up to 600 psi. It is now seldom used. The closed tank sight glass B, sometimes called as a reflex glass, is used in many pressurized and atmospheric processes. The greatest use in the pressurized vessels such as the boiler drums, evaporators, condensers, tanks, distillation columns and other such applications. The length of reflex glass gauges ranges from a few inches or 8 feet, but like the tube type gauges, they can be gauged together to provide nearly any length of a level measurement. Simplicity as well as the reliability of gauge type measurement results in use of such devices for local indication. Last type of direct method is the chain or the float gauge. The visual means of level measurement previously discussed are relevant in simplicity as well as dependability by the float type measurement devices. Many forms of float type instruments are available, but each uses the principle of a buoyant element that floats on the surface of the liquid and changes position as the liquid level varies. Many methods have been used to give an indication of level form of a float position, with the most common being of a float and a cable arrangement. The operational concept of a float and a cable are thus shown in the diagram which is given here. Here the float is connected to a pulley by a chain or a flexible cable, and the rotating member of the pulley in turn is connected to an indicating device with measurement graduation on it. And as it can be also seen, as the float moves upward, the counterweight keeps the cable tight and the indicator moves along the circular scale. So the next type of level measurement is the indirect methods or the inferential type. The indirect or the inferred methods of level measurement depend upon the material having a physical property which can be measured and related to level. Many physical and electrical properties have been used for this purpose and are well suited to produce proportional output signals for remote transmission. This method employs even the very latest technologies in its measurement. So these methods include, the first one is buoyancy, where the force produced by a submerged body equal to the weight of the fluid it displaces. And the next is the hydrostatic head, the force or the weight produced by the height of the liquid. The next is sonar or ultrasonic. Materials to be measured reflect or affect in the detectable manner high frequency sound signals generated at appropriate locations near the measured material. The next is microwave. It is similar to the ultrasonic but uses microwave instead of the ultrasonic beam. The next is the conductance at desired points of level detection. The material to be measured conducts or ceases to conduct electricity between two fixed probe locations or between probe and a vessel wall. The next is capacitance, where material to be measured serves as a variable dielectric between two fixed capacitor plates. In reality, there are two substances which forms the dielectric. The material whose measurements is desired at the vapor space above it. The total dielectric value changes as the amount of one material increases while the other decreases. The next is radiation. The material measured absorbs the radiated energy. As in the capacitance method, the vapor space above the measured material also acts as an absorbing characteristics, but the difference in absorption between the 2 points is great enough that the measurement can be related quite accurately to measured material. The next is weight. The force due to weight can be related very closely to level, which is the density is constant, the variable concentrations components or the temperature variations present difficulties however. The next is resistance. The pressure of the measured material squeezes two narrowly separated conductors together, reducing the overall circuit resistance in an amount proportional to the level. And the last one is the micro impulse, where time of flight, electrical pulses launch and travels back in frequency directly, is proportional to the level of the liquid. So with this we have come to the end of types of level measurement. Thank you.